Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearances of the Week. This is April 7th, 2021, and we'll be giving you all the first appearances hitting your comic shops today. Now, this week is going to be pretty light on first appearances, but we do have quite a few honorable mentions to take a look at. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearances of the week ending April 9th, 2021. First up from DC Comics, Batman number 107. This features the first appearance of the Gardener. Next from DC Comics, Swamp Thing number 2. This features the possible first full appearance of the Pale Wanderer. And finally from Marvel Comics, Avengers number 44. This features the first appearance or the debut of the new Phoenix. So there you have it. There's only 3 first appearances this week. I told you it's going to be pretty light, but we do have quite a few honorable mentions to take a look at, including a few origin stories. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. First up from Image Comics, Geiger number 1. In a world of radioactive chaos, outlaws battle one another for survival, but all fear the one who lives out past a poison wasteland by the name of Geiger. Next up from Boom Comics, Magic the Gathering number 1. This is the first Magic the Gathering comic book published by Boom. Next up from Scout Comics, Locust number 1. A plague has infected humanity with a disease that transforms them into ravenous locusts, and those who are unaffected by the illness struggle to survive. Next up from Heavy Metal, The Rise number 1. This is a prequel to The Night of the Living Dead. This tells the story of what led to the birth of the modern zombie. Next from Bad Idea, Tankers number 1. Bone-shredding devastation, wanton corporate malfeasance, reckless use of industrial machinery, and lots of ammunition, like a Saturday morning cartoon that's irresponsibly run over budget. Next from DC Comics, Crime Syndicate number 2. This features the origin of Owlman. Next up, also from DC Comics, Green Lantern number 1. This is the premiere issue of this title. It features Green Lantern's John Stewart, Joe Mullen, and the Teen Lantern. Next up, also from DC Comics, The Next Batman Second Son number 1. This features the origin of Tim Fox. Next from Marvel Comics, Star Wars The High Republic number 4. This features the origin of Dringr, the plant-based hive mind antagonist. And finally from Boom Comics, Berserker number 1 second print edition. This is the second print foil edition. So there you have the 3 first appearances and the 10 honorable mentions that we have for this week. I know that's quite a lot to digest. There's 13 books in all there, so let's go ahead and give you our recommendations for which ones we think you should add to your long-term investment portfolio. From the first appearances, DC Batman number 107. This is the first appearance of the Gardener. It really all depends what they do with this character. This is one you may want to keep on your radar, but put this on your B list. We don't think this is tremendously important yet, but once again, all depends what they do with this character. Next from DC Comics, Swamp Thing number 2. This features a possible full appearance of the Pale Wanderer. If it is a full appearance, definitely pick this one up. The Pale Wanderer character has definitely been very hyped, so this is one you do want to own if this is the first full appearance. We won't know until the book actually comes out later today, but this is a possible first full appearance. Next up from Marvel Comics, Avengers number 44. This features the debut of the new Phoenix. You know, all the Marvel Comics, all the Marvel characters are still very hot. Phoenix is one of the hot characters in the Marvel Universe, so you might want to pick this one up. Now from the honorable mentions, Image Comics Geiger number 1. This sounds like it's going to lend itself very well to film or television. This is a survival story in a world of radioactive chaos. The outlaws battle one another for survival. Sounds very, very well adaptable to TV or film. This is one you may want to add. Next up from Boom Comics, Magic the Gathering number 1. This is a definite. Pick this one here up. This is the first time that Boom has published the Magic the Gathering comic books. This is one you definitely want to add. Magic the Gathering comic books are very, very highly collected and coveted. They have a cult following. This is one you want to get. Next from Scout Comics, Locust number 1. This sounds like it's going to lend itself very well to TV or film. This is where the plague has infected humanity with a disease that transforms them into ravenous locusts, and those that are unaffected fight for survival. Once again, another survival story, but sounds like it might lend itself very well to TV or film. Now from Heavy Metal, The Rise number 1. This is the prequel to The Night of the Living Dead. It tells the story of what led to the birth of the modern zombie. This is a must-have. We do think this one here will be translated to TV or film. This is a great story. Nobody's done a prequel to Night of the Living Dead to explain how the zombies came about. So it really all depends on how well the story is written, how popular this is, but we do think this is one you want to own. Next up from Bad Idea, Tankers number 1. Now, we've talked about Bad Idea Comics before. They're very limited in their distribution. They only send to a specific number of stores, and those stores can only sell one per customer. So very limited distribution, very limited per customer purchase. So any of the Bad Idea #1s, definitely pick those up. There's going to be very tough to find later. Now, from DC Comics, Crime Syndicate #2. This is the origin of Owlman. May not be all that important. So this is one to put on your B list. Next up from DC Comics, Green Lantern #1. This is the premiere issue for this title. It features a few of the other Green Lanterns. This is one you can put on your B list. We don't think this is all that important. Next up from DC Comics, The Next Batman Second Son #1. This is one you want to get. This is the origin of Tim Fox. Tim Fox as the next Batman is very, very popular, so definitely pick up this origin story. And finally, from Marvel Comics, the Star Wars High Republic #4. We mentioned this repeatedly. The Star Wars High Republic franchise, very, very hot, already being translated to an animated series on Netflix, I believe. So this is one you want to pick up. This is the origin of Drengar. He is the antagonist of the story, of the whole arc. So you definitely want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection. So there you have all the first appearances and honorable mentions for the week ending April 9th, 2021. We hope our recommendations help you guys out. Drop some comments in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.